All right, everybody, we are live. This is the Team Go-Getters weekly team call. We have this call every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure that you have set an alert in your phone and you're letting your coaches know about this call so they can set alert in their phone. Because why that is, you guys, is because this is free content. This is free information, training on how to build your business from people who have gone through this. They've already been where you are. They've made mistakes. They're sharing what they have done to create these successful businesses, and this is all for free. Most people, when they want to do business training to better themselves, they have to go and pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to get this information. You are getting the top coaches on the team and in the network coming live on this call to provide top-notch information. So not only do you need to make it a point to get on there to help you and your business, but also you want your team to get on there to get this information. So make sure that you're making it a point to let them know that you're getting on, so you're leading by example, and that you're also letting your team know that they need to be on this call as well, okay? So we're just off of Summit. Summit just got over last weekend, so I'm sure we're all on this huge high, even if you weren't there, because I actually was unable to go as well. But even though I wasn't able to go, I'm still on this huge high from the announcements, and I streamed the opening and closing ceremonies live on the computer, and all the announcements and everything like that. They were just everything was so inspiring and motivating, and it just gave me that fire. So I feel like so many of you, so many of my personally sponsored coaches have been messaging me, and I'm sure you guys feel this too. We all have this fire in our belly, right? We want to really hit it hard and run for the remainder of 2016. It doesn't matter where you are in your business. If you signed up just in July, you have the ability to even be an elite coach by the end of the year. Like, I'm not even kidding. There was a coach named Micah Folsom who joined right after Summit a couple years ago, and she qualified for elite in her first year. She signed up in July, and she qualified for elite. She was a 5-star diamond coach, and that second year, she was in her second year after signing up in July, so it wasn't even her full second year actually. She ended up being in the top 10 of the entire company. So anything is possible for you guys, but you just have to draw the line in the sand and just give it your all, okay? And so another thing, and this is why I wanted to have my sister and one of my top coaches on my team, Jackie Buchanan, talk on this call, because she is so awesome at this, is that you want to be able to, when you are growing your team, because that's part of building this business, is growing a team of coaches that are doing the same thing as you. You're awesome, and you can do a lot of things, and you can change a lot of lives just by yourself. But what happens, and when this business really takes off for people, is when they realize that how awesome would it be if I had a team of coaches just like me, train them to do just what I'm doing, have them reach success just like I'm achieving, and think of how many more lives could be changed if I had more of me to go around. And that's really what you're doing. You're building a team of people, of like-minded people, training them to do what you're doing, and then so many more lives are changed that way, okay? So you're going to be doing that. If you want to grow this business and you have that fire in your belly post-summit, you're going to be building your team. But where we don't want you to drop the ball is how you're bringing these coaches on. Like, a lot of my coaches will say, okay, well, I just want to have a good training system. I just want to know how to train my coaches. I just want my coaches to hit the ground running when they sign up. Well, Jackie has a really great system on how she brings on coaches. She's very organized. She's going to share with you, like, actually share her screen and everything, and exactly how she creates lifers right out of the gate. Okay, so I'm going to introduce my sister and my best friend and one of my top coaches on my team, Jackie Buchanan, who is our guest speaker today. So Jackie is a lifetime 5-star diamond coach, 2014 elite coach. She just recently joined the Millionaire Club, which is, I can't even tell you how many people are in it, but it's like a very small percentage of the company are in the Millionaires Club. So that's a huge milestone that she just recently hit. She's an organizational, did I say that right? Organizational leader on the leadership ladder. She's a Success Club legend and she's hit Success Club 36 months in a row without missing it. That's consistent or consecutive. So she's hit Success Club for 36 consecutive months. That is consistency. Am I right? So that is Jackie Buchanan. Other than that, you guys, she is, like I said, my sister and my friend. She's from a super small town. We live like, I don't know, 15 minutes from each other. Actually, the town that she grew up in and the town that she lives in now is got a population of less than like 2,000 people. So for those of you who say you don't have a large network, don't make it an excuse because anybody can do this. Jackie has a huge network and a huge team and a huge following now, and she's from a town with less than 2,000 people. On top of that, she's a wife and she has 2 young children, 2 boys, and they are her life. And yeah, so I'm going to have her speak on, like I said, creating lifers and how to get your new coaches started off on the right foot. So Jackie, I'll have you take it away from there.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Oh, okay. Now I got big. Thank you for that introduction. One second here. Okay. So hi, as you just heard, my name is Jackie Buchanan for you guys who don't know me. I wanted to start the call off today by saying how excited I am to have been asked to speak on the call today, specifically today, after such an amazing and powerful event coming off a summit last weekend, or this past weekend. I know so many of you were there, and that's so awesome. And I bet you guys are still like riding that summit high right now. And it's almost like when you come home from summit, you feel like you have that same desire and inspiration inside of you, or like Mindy said, the fire inside of you that you had when you first signed up to be a coach. And the only difference is now you have so much more knowledge, I guess, underneath your belt. So like she used the example of Micah. Micah joined in July. She had 6 months till the end of the year, and she made elite, you guys. You guys can be freshly new coaches coming in the gate right now, and you guys can make it happen this year still. So don't think that anything is impossible. It's all possible for you. Many coaches have done it, and you guys are no different than any of us. All of you guys can be there at the end of the year. So if you're going to take one thing away from this call, get your summit ticket for next year. Make that commitment today. You make that commitment today, you're going to hold yourself accountable from now for the next 12 months. And who knows, next year you could be walking across that stage. You guys could be, 5 stars elite. You can be anything. So get your ticket now. Don't wait. Make the commitment and be there next year. You guys, like Mindy said, she wasn't able to attend this year, and I know she was really upset about that. But Summit is something that you obviously can watch the general sessions and stuff recorded, and you can, catch some of the trainings on YouTube. And Beachbody does an amazing job at making sure we all have the ability to watch those things and to take away from the event, even if we are unable to attend. But the one thing they can't do is they can't bottle up the energy and the momentum and everything else that comes along with that event. So getting there is key. And I can promise you that investment will be 100% worth it in your business and just personally, like personal growth. So make sure that you guys get off this call today and you get your summit ticket if you haven't already, and commit to that event. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my slides here. If I can do this correctly, I'm not really great at all this stuff. So one second. Mindy, can you hear me? I want to make sure you can see my slides.
Yes, I can hear you.
And as my
I'm seeing your, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so today, like Mindy said, I'm going to talk to you guys on how to create lifers right from the gate. So first of all, before I go into this, I just want to share a little bit more about my story so you guys can kind of get an, oops, sorry, one sec. Okay, so you guys can get an idea of where I started and where I came from and where I am today, and kind of just understand that I'm no different than any of you. So here is my, actually the center of my vision board. This is my reason why right here. You can see this is my husband, John. We'll be celebrating 10 years of marriage in just a few weeks here. Literally, this man is my rock. He is so humble and caring and giving. He, people say that, they're your better half. He is literally my better half. He keeps me balanced and just, really focused on moving forward and just, working for more and knowing that, making me believe that I deserve more. The other two little boys here are my boys. The one on the right is Remy, and the other one is my little blondie, Tucker. They are my reason why. So I started coaching 5 years ago, and we just had our first, I started coaching 5 years ago, right after I had my son, Remy. It was a time when I was not happy. I was incredibly depressed. I was angry. I was sad. We had tried for a really long time to get pregnant for years, and, moving forward a little bit after, a couple years, we ended up getting help with fertility. And, when we found out we were pregnant, like anybody else, it was just such an amazing moment. And we were so excited, and, we were ready to take that next step and grow our family. I knew staying home with my son was not financially possible for us, but I wasn't okay with that. My husband was already working 2 jobs. He was barely home, and I was personally working 50 to 55 hours a week. So again, financially speaking, we were not in any place for me to leave my job. So when I had to go back to work, I had to leave my 3-month-old with various sitters. I was just completely devastated. Again, I was already not very emotionally stable. So this was not a great time for me to, have something else happen to me. So not only that happened, but I was also going through a lot of the typical feelings, like not wanting to look in the mirror, not being happy with who I was or who I became, or, just the outer me, not being comfortable in my own skin. And I knew I could not go on like this, and I needed to do something. So fast forward a little bit, after Mindy had presented the business to me like 7 or 8 times, like literally, you guys, I turned it down. So I was that annoying coach that was obsessed with Beachbody and loved everything about it, but was like, no, coaching's not for me. I'm a great example of why don't ever give up on people. You never know when that time in their life is going to come when they are going to be ready. And, it just takes that one moment. And just because they said no once doesn't make them, a no forever. So, just know that, stay with people and believe in them and just be there when they need you. So anyways, fast forward, I signed up as a coach, and I was able to quit my job in 6 months. You would think that this would be like, oh, happily ever after. Well, it definitely wasn't. 2 months later, we actually got the biggest blessing in our life, and quite a surprise, we were pregnant with our second son, Tucker. To our surprise, of course, since it was so hard for us to, get pregnant with Remy. Tucker was just there. It was a surprise. So obviously we were very happy about that, and it was definitely a blessing. But 2 weeks before Christmas, 2 weeks after we found out we were pregnant, my husband actually got permanently laid off from his full-time job. So he held our insurance, and honestly, he was like the complete stability for our family. So we were, of course, scared, unsure of what to do next. And I could have easily thrown in the towel at this point, just been, oh, whatever, this was a bad decision. I need to go back to work. We need to do something to support our family. Because of the growth that I had already experienced in just those 6 months as a coach, that personal development that I had, I knew there was more to this Beachbody thing. And I knew this opportunity was there to help me through this moment. So you see, my husband was working 2 jobs. Like I said, he was working during the day from 7 to 5, coming home for dinner, and then going back to work on his side job. He was building till sometimes like 1 in the morning. So he was in home for family dinners. He wasn't home to help me with Remy. He wasn't even there to experience Remy, So he was missing so much, and we were really missing him. So that next week, we just decided to move forward. We decided we were going to do whatever we could to get him, his side job was actually him trying to build his own business. So we decided we were just going to throw him out there and let him, get more jobs and really try to take off on his own business. And I was going to support the family with Beachbody. So the next week he picked up more jobs, and I had more time to work with my coaching business. With him being home more and being able to take care of and help with Remy more, I was able to focus more time on my business. Yes, I have achieved some pretty amazing things throughout these 5 years, but believe me, they did not come with many failures. And speaking of failures, you guys, the exact thing that I was asked to come here and share with you today is one of the areas that just like months ago, a very short time ago, I was failing at myself. So my point here, guys, is that nobody, not me, not those superstar diamonds that you might have seen on stage at Summit, not anyone in the Millions Club, nobody got to where they are without failing first. So if you guys want to write this down, what we call failure is really just that necessary struggle called learning. What we call failure is really just that necessary struggle we call learning. Remember, never let those obstacles, bumps in the road, or failures get to your heart. These are literally part of your journey. So you guys, I know that, when you hear people introduce, me on this call or introduce other people on stage, you hear about all their accomplishments. But, oftentimes we forget that in order to get to those accomplishments, these people have failed a lot. It wasn't an easy road. There was obstacles, there was excuses, there was failures, there was so much standing in their way. The reason they succeeded is because they believed and they had a reason why they wanted this more than to just throw in the towel. So, okay, enough about me. Let's just dig into this whole thing and get started and get you guys the information you came here for, right? So let me switch these slides here. Maybe. There we go. So what you can expect from this call. First of all, I'm going to briefly define for you what I call a lifer. Then, although this call is not focused on recruiting, I wanted to just quickly share some key components on attracting quality challengers and coaches, because I feel it's very important for you to really work on attracting people that fit into your brand or your tribe, as it's called. You want people that you can relate to, that you enjoy talking to, and that you really want to have relationships with. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about that. And then I'm going to share with you, lastly, I'll share the system that I have created or that I use to help me create these long-lasting challengers and coaches and, these lifers. So let's get started. Okay, so a lifer. One thing to note is that lifers absolutely are not found. They are built. I think most of us can say we have at one time or another added a coach who we just knew, like without a doubt, was going to rock this business. They were going to be your next 5-star diamond coach and they were going to go diamond in 30 days. We've all had that person. But that person ended up quitting 30 days into the business. And on the reverse side, I'm sure many of you have had like a discount coach on your team. And that discount coach, was just sitting there and you really didn't give them much energy until the day when they started saying, I want to be in this business. And they turned out to be your diamond. So the one thing here, the important thing here, is that we can't give up on anyone. We have to be there for everyone and make the promise to them, because you never know who your next lifer will be. Okay, so what is a lifer exactly? A lifer is someone who loves the programs, loves Shakeology, loves helping others. They are completely invested, meaning that they have used our products and they have gotten results from them. They are fueled by a bigger picture and have a reason why that is powerful and lights a fire inside of them. They are eager to learn, grow, and change. Also eager to motivate and to do their part in changing lives. But lastly, they are totally relatable. A lifer is not only willing to share their highlight reel with you, but also the behind the scenes. Not so, like the behind the scenes and not so pretty stuff that, sometimes people don't want to put out there, or, like your before and after picture or your before picture per se. That stuff. It's not just all, peaches and cream. It's somebody who is going to be sharing the behind the scenes stuff, the stuff that is not so lovey. They're willing to be vulnerable in order to help others. So that is what I define as one of my lifers. So attracting quality. Number one is I put the obvious. So again, this is not a call on recruiting, but I wanted to share a few tips with you to help you really attract quality people to your network and to your team. So number one is the vital behaviors. This one is pretty obvious, but is often what my coaches neglect. I know I sound like a broken record, but making sure you are consistently inviting, investing in your personal development, and absolutely being a product of the product, you will not see the growth in your business. End of story, period, done. If you are not out there sharing your journey. So being a product of the product doesn't mean that you're only using the product. It means that you're sharing your challenges throughout the program. You're committing to a program for the full amount of time, that consistency. You are inviting people. People are not, just because you're posting on Facebook doesn't mean that you're reaching out to people. You need to be inviting every single day. And reading personal development. Obviously, I don't need to go into that. Mindy does an awesome job by, letting you guys know how important in altering this is to your business, but personal development is key. It's key to becoming a better inviter. It's key to becoming a better coach. It's the key to becoming a better leader, a better friend, a better mom. So really, you guys, it's everything. If you're struggling in one area, focus your personal development there and stick with it. Be consistent. The next thing is be transparent. Be real, you guys. Your followers will respect you more if they can relate to you. Sharing only your highlight reel does not resonate with the majority. Sean T gave a great example of this at Summit. He said, imagine if you lived in a glass house and everyone could see inside. Would you be okay with that? Know your truth, and yes, you can share in a positive way, but make sure you share the entire story. So that is huge, you guys. Think about that. Think about you living inside of a glass house. Would your followers, your coaches, your challengers, would they be seeing the real you, or would your challengers be seeing you shoving cookies in your mouth at night and not posting it on Facebook? So really consider that and be transparent. And then always be a lifelong challenger. Commit to a program, and if you haven't already, commit to a program today. I don't care if it's a 21-day program, a 90-day program, I don't care what it is. Commit to something and stick with it. And then share that journey. If you are not consistent with your followers will never trust you. And they won't trust you because they won't believe that you can help them. That's what they struggle with. They need somebody to help them be consistent. So you need to be that consistent person for them. And lastly, just stick with your niche. You guys hear a lot about this too. So, and I know that could be a whole nother training, but find your brand and stick to it. Make a list of, 1 to 4 things or something that's you, a mom, a wife, whatever it is. Make that list and stick to it. Find people that fit into your niche, and then become friends with them. Have conversations with them. Get to know them. That's what you need to do, and that's how you attract quality to your team. So the recipe. The meat of the call. I will share these slides with Mindy, so don't worry about like jotting down notes and hurting your hand with scribbling and everything. But I just want to give you some takeaways that will hopefully help you get your coaches started out right, but also to help you get coaches that will stay committed and that will become part of your tribe, that will be at Summit with you next year. That's how much they will believe in this business. And that's what you want. You want a community, you want a tribe. And that's what I hope I can help you create today. So first thing is welcome email in my 10-day success, my 10-day simple success. So right after I sign a new coach, the first thing I do is send them a welcome email. Let me proceed on here. Okay, so keep them in the new coach high. So when I say that, what I mean is a lot of times I hear people or I hear other coaches tell me, well, I never got anything from my coach, or I don't know what I'm doing, or whatever. That is unacceptable. When a coach signs up, the reason they signed up at that moment is because they were ready. They were excited. They had the high energy. They wanted to take off. And so you need to get them something to do in order to keep them busy and keep them motivated. So get them a welcome email. Send them a welcome email with step-by-step things that they can do right now in order to start their business and start growing as a coach. I'm going to share in a little bit. As the bottom here, you see sneak peek. At the end of all these slides, I'm going to go and actually share my screenshots of my welcome email, my simple success training, and kind of give you a briefing on those just so you can get, I'm a visual learner. So for me, I can sit here and talk all day, or someone could talk to me all day, but unless I seen something and had an idea of what it looked like, it would be really hard for me. So I wanted to show you guys what I use so that you guys can take that and make it your own. So be the face of your team is next. I was a huge culprit of taking the easy way out. I hate talking on calls like this, and I really don't like recording videos or anything like that. Of course, I've gotten better at it over the years because I've had to step out of my comfort zone and do these things. But in the beginning, I was not the face of my team. I almost think Mindy was the face of my team because she made it so easy to let her take control. And so I was sharing her videos and her face and whatever. And that is completely fine when you start your business. When you are a brand new coach, I don't want you focusing completely on recreating all of these new things. The whole point of this business is that you can duplicate. But as you continue to grow as a coach, and as you continue to build these systems for your team, slowly work at creating your own videos. So take somebody's video, watch it, and then make it your own. And you can use the system the system I'm sharing with you today, you can use that system and slowly make it your own. But make sure that you are sharing your face. And if right now that means using, my team using my training for their new coaches, I still want them to have a team page, even if it's with one coach, and get in their team page live. Let them see their face. Let them, get in there and share a tip that you learned in your personal development book. Get in there and ask them what workout program they're doing, or let them know what you're doing. Be the face of your team. The next thing is stick with the basics. So a couple times in my business, I actually struggled with getting too overwhelmed and getting ahead of myself. And then I would really neglect the everyday things that I needed to do and be consistent with in order to grow my business. The exact things I did when I started as a coach 5 years ago and was able to quit my job in 6 months. Those things I did in those 6 months were powerful. They were the basics. They weren't nothing special. They were the power hour to-do list. That's what those things were. But when you have training after training and call after call, and you think you need to create this or that and this and that, sometimes you get away from those basics. You need to stick to those basics, and you need to share those basics with your new coaches. So now the sneak peek, I will come back. I was going to show you guys right now, but I don't want to get onto my slideshow and then have to come back into it and just get too confusing. So I will come back and show you guys literally how I do all of these things right here, the welcome email and being the face of my team and sharing the basics and sticking to the basics, all of those things. I will show you my actual system when I get through with these slides here. So the next step after the welcome email and after they have finished my 10-day simple success training is the one-on-one call. Now, I used to call these getting started right calls. My getting started right calls, I really did not enjoy. They would last forever. I could never get off the phone. I felt like I didn't accomplish anything. I never got that good feeling when I got off the phone because I was too busy trying to explain everything, like how to find your online office, how to use your online office, how to open a group, where to direct your customers for a sale. All of those things, I feel like that's what I was sharing with them on Getting Started Right calls. And it was just not, it was not productive. And I did not feel like the call was a success at the end. So I call these my game plan calls now. So again, I send them a welcome email. They enroll in my Simple Success 10-day training, which, as you will see, includes all of those basic things: Success Club, Emerald, your online office, your where to direct your new customers, all of those things a new coach needs to know. That's what I train them on in that 10-day training program. When I get on the call with them, it is so much nicer, you guys, because I get to just talk to them. We get to keep it very simple. I go over any questions that they have from the 10-day training session, the Simple Success training series that they went on. We set tangible goals, and I paint that picture for them for the next 30 days. So that picture might include, Emerald in 30 days, help 3 to 5 people, get a challenge pack, help them get into your challenge group. That's going to help you make Success Club. That's going to help you create these lifer coaches, because lifer coaches, you guys, start as challengers. They start in your challenge group. They get results. All of those things I said about a lifer, the loving the product, the getting results, all of these things happen in a challenge group. So I paint that picture for them. And, it's important that I emphasize this painting the picture for the next 30 days, because as a new coach coming into this business, they have no clue what is going on. They have no clue what to expect. They have no clue what kind of goals to set. So it's your job to paint that picture for them. It's your job to tell them what goals they will reach in 30 days and help them see that it's possible. So that is the game. That's what I do on my one-on-one calls, or my tip, what you guys might call your GSRs. Then after that, they hop into, now this is actually a Facebook group, and it's called Simple Success Study Guide. So this is the next step after they've got their welcome email. They've completed the 10-day Simple Success. We've had our one-on-one. They know their goals. They know what they have the picture painted of what's going to happen in the next 30 days. They hop into a 2-week group that I host on Facebook. Now, I want to say that I have hosted many different groups. The reason I created this system here is because my Coach Basic groups is mostly what you guys would probably recognize them as, never succeed. They always were a flop. And I'm not sure why that is, except for the only thing I could think of, and why I created this series of training the way I have, is because we attract coaches like us. And I am one of those people that is like, let's get this done. Let's get this shit done. And so for me, If somebody said, here's a 10-day training, you need to do one training every day. I probably would never finish that 10-day training because I would not want to do one a day. I want to do all 10 in one day. I want to be quick. I want to get this over with and done with. I want to move forward. And just as somebody else may need the 10 days. So it's important to know that I want all my coaches to be able to go at their own pace. And I want to be able to also see what pace my coaches are going at. So I can identify, my walkers, my runners, my sprinters, who's going to be all in and who's going to, maybe be possibly want to reach for diamond in 30 days or, who are going to be my emeralds in 2 weeks. This helps me identify those coaches. And so this group here, I created, so it comes off of there. Now every month I create one of these groups. I create a simple success study guide group. So I'm going to use this, for example. Any coach that I added in July is going to go into my August Simple Success Study group. They've already completed the welcome email, the 10-day Simple Success, and our one-on-one call. So now they're graduated into this Simple Success group. It's a 2-week group. Week 1 is learning and training. Again, I'm going to share with you the topics that we discuss in this group, but basically in week 1, every day is designated to an important behavior in this business. So inviting, challenge groups, I can't even think of the other ones right now, but personal development maybe, but I'm going to share with you that list. And so every day is devoted to one of those topics. And in that day, they might get 5 different videos that are 3 minutes to 4 minutes long, and they learn about that topic, everything that they need to learn about that topic in that day. And then we move forward the next day. And then over the weekend, they have 2 free days, Saturday and Sunday, to catch up on anything they may have missed during the week. Week 2 moves into the action and accountability. So week 2 is going to be the same topic on the same days, but now I'm going to give them actual steps they need to take in order to implement what they learned the week before. And they're going to have me there 24/7 to help answer the questions, help them answer messages, help them, basically I'm going to be hand-holding these coaches, these new coaches in these first 2 weeks. So it helps me really get close to these coaches. It helps the coaches get close to one another, which is a group of people just like them, new coaches. And then moving forward, this group stays open, and this group becomes kind of like I've been calling it a success pod, because I was in a training group and this idea was released in the group or introduced in the group of creating these success pods. And so instead of a success partner, you kind of have these success pods, and they're filled with numerous people. And so, 5 to 8 people, or even like 1 to 2 people. If you're new and you're only adding like 1 coach a month or 2 coaches a month, you can still do this, you guys. It doesn't matter. The smaller the group, probably the better. So yeah, these groups are really small, and it remains open. And now they have each other, people who they've learned a lot about, who they've trusted in, who they've grown with, and now they can continue growing moving forward. You can encourage them to host trainings together, to do live videos together. You can encourage them to do things together, and it's way easier for new coaches to do stuff when they feel like they have a community. And this group turns into their little community. So that's that. So, okay, so I'm not going to go into that yet. First of all, okay, sorry guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so first I want to go back to here, my welcome email in Simple Success Scripture. Okay, so let me see if I can do this quick for you guys. Should have everything pulled up, I think. And this maybe? Nope. This maybe? Okay. So here's my welcome email. Mindy, can you see this? I don't know if she might be muted.
Sorry, I had to unmute, but yes, I can.
Okay, so here's just my welcome email, you guys. I made this in MailChimp, super simple program to use. Anybody can do it. They have templates in there. You kind of just drop pictures into certain spots. It kind of has a layout for you already. But the important things about this is that you want to have it be clean, easy, and simple. So right away on the top, it just says, welcome, let's get started. It gives them my training website for my team right up there at the top. Here, this is actually a live video, and it's a video that welcomes them to my team. Super simple, super short, just says, here, I am the CEO of this team, or the creator of this team, whatever, and I'm here to help you. I wanted to introduce myself. I tell them a little bit about me and my family, my story, tell them, what kind of the layout of how this is all gonna work for them, and paint that picture for them of the next 10 days. And then I just go through and I list a little bit here about what's going to happen and everything. And then down here, I say, let's get started. So again, step 1 is to go to my team page, join the team page so they can be involved there. Step 2 is fill out the All About Me form. This form, I think you guys probably all have access to it. If you don't know what it is, comment below and I can share it with you guys. But it's just an All About Me form. It gives me a whole great idea of what their goals are, why they joined as a coach, that type of deal. So I can really have a good idea of who they are and why they joined so I can help them better. And then step 3 is log in and bookmark our team training site. So this is my team training site. I created it. I just created this like last year. I've been a coach for 5 years. So new coaches on this call, do not feel like you need to go and have a training site. One thing you can do is you can create the same videos I'm about to show you, and you can create a document in Microsoft Word or Google or wherever, and just post the links. Day 1, link. Day 2, link. Day 3, link. And send that as an attachment in your welcome email. So they can still get the same exact thing you're going to see on my team training site, only it's basically free for you to do. So that gets them to my team training site. And then I talk about creating a vision, and I post a video about how to create a vision board and set some goals. So that is my welcome email. Basically super simple, step-by-step, 4 steps in there on what to do. And then I just tell down here, I tell them to follow me and give them all my links to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, my blog, and then just tell them thank you and stuff. So that is my welcome email. It's clean, easy to follow through, not too overwhelming. You know, again, the face of your team, record a video of yourself, introducing yourself, welcoming them to your team. The next thing I'm going to show you is just the Simple Success that my 10-day Simple Success program. So here's my team training site, you guys. You just, this is my Simple Success tab. They come in, they click on new coach, they watch a new coach video, and then they come over here to this. This is just a little blurb about describing how it'll all work. Welcoming to them to the program. I do day one is, teach them about their online office. And then this also is like their retail websites where they send people. Number 2 is creating a vision, goals, that sort of stuff. Day 3 is all about the power hour. I go through each item on the power hour and describe what that means, how they can do it, why they should start now, and break it down one by one what that means. And then day 4 is just my top 3 tips on being a successful coach. Day 5 is, again, creating that brand, that niche of yours, quality versus quantity. We kind of talked about that today. That video right there just explains to them how important that is. Building a list and handpicking your diamond dream team. This is your list of 100, you guys. Finding balance with a schedule. Very important to track and have a schedule of some sort to stay, on top of everything. Challenge groups, huge. Success Club, Emerald. And then I have a bonus video here, and this is just Janelle's video because I am horrible at explaining this, but it explains like team cycle bonuses and stuff like that, commissions. So I thought that was good to include there. So that is the 10-day thing. Again, these videos are so simple and short and basic, but they are what new coaches need to hear. And these are the things that I was talking about in my Getting Started Right calls, and that I felt so overwhelmed with, and I didn't feel like my coaches were getting a lot or even taking it all away. So by doing it this way, you give them the option to do it on their own time and at their own speed. After they finish this 10-day Simple Success, then we do our one-on-one call, and we go over our goals and the questions they had from here. Following that, again, we go into our, oops, sorry, did something wrong here, I think. We go into our 2-week study guide group. And in here, these are the topics that we discuss. So again, it's just a Facebook group, private group. Everyone I signed up in July that completed the steps we just talked about, the welcome email, the Simple Success 10-day training, and had my one-on-one call with, get into this group, and they turn into that success pod. Day 1 is all about what are your websites, be a product of the product, the fuel of success, personal development, what motivates you. Day 2, challenge groups. The whole day is about challenge groups and running challenges and inviting to challenges. Day 3 is social media, expanding your audience and being consistent. Day 4 is Success Club and Emerald. Oops, that was not good. Sorry. One sec. Let me get back. Day 5 is creating your list of 100, keeping track, presenting the business, handling objections with grace. So it basically is what we want all of our new coaches to be doing and to be confident in doing. And we're just going to give them, each day it's going to be like a load of information that they will get on that one focused topic. And then The weekend, time to catch up. Week 2, same thing. Day 1 will be about all of these things, but now I'm going to give them action steps, like being a product of the product. Post a picture of yourself doing your workout today. Fuel of your success, personal development. Share your favorite quote from your personal development book that you're reading right now, and how you're going to implement that into your life. And then what motivates you. Share your vision board. Challenge groups. Invite so many people to your challenge group today. Share your invite here. That type of stuff. Take action on what you've learned. That's what we do in this group. And then in closing here, I just wanted to close and just share a couple little tips with you on things that I feel held me up in my business. And the first one is don't play games. And when I'm talking about games, I'm talking about the comparison game. I'm not here to pretend like I got it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. This plan I'm sharing with you, I'm sure it has tweaks that it needs. I'm sure it can be better. Everything can be better. So I'm not here to pretend like I'm perfect. But I want you to know that comparing yourself to other people will only bog you down. It will not move you forward. It will slow you down, and you will never reach success. So don't play those games. The next thing, you're going to, broken record again, but consistency is key. So if you stick to those basics, if you create these simple systems for your team and you stick to them and you show your challengers, your followers, your coaches that you are consistent, I can promise you that you will attract consistency to your business. And that's consistency in your challenge groups, consistency in your coaches, and consistency in your income and your growth in this business. Keep it super simple. So one thing I always tend to do is complicate every little thing that there possibly is. When I was preparing for this call, I must have wrote note cards out like 100 times because I was complicating everything, how to lay it out, what to do. It's so simple. I just need you guys, we need to keep it simple. Stick to the basics, get good at the basics, add one thing on at a time. Stay keeping it simple and make sure your new coaches see the simple process. And lastly, you are already a success, so own it. This was something I learned at Summit, and I knew, the second I heard it, I knew I needed to share this with you guys and with my team. So and I can't even remember who said it, which is awful, but there's a lot of information this weekend. But they said, we are all a success. We already all have success stories. We have to identify those stories and share them to impact other people's lives. So the example was, if you've drinking Shakeology one day, this might have been Shalene Johnson actually. If you have drinking Shakeology one day, you have a success story. You felt more energy. You felt, not so bogged down. You might have been more regular, whatever it is. You have a success story. Share that story. How big, how small, it doesn't matter. It is your story and you need to be sharing it. The more stories that you can share, the more lives you can impact and the greater growth you will see in yourself and in your business. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I think. I get off my screen so often. Yep, we're done. Thanks, guys.
That was so awesome, Jackie. Thank you so much. This is exactly what we all need. We need to just keep it simple. Not only for us, like Jackie says, she overcomplicates things and whatever. I think a lot of us tend to do that, which is, I don't know, I feel like it's normal since we just want to give people so much information and everything like that. I feel like I can be like that too, and a lot of other leaders can be like that. But remember, if you keep it simple, like Jackie just shared, like a very simple, straightforward, it was a system, a system that is easy to follow for you. And so you won't get off track, you won't lose focus, you won't drop the ball. So it's easy for you. And it doesn't overcomplicate things for you. But on top of that, the most important thing is it's easy for that new coach. Just think of when you first started. It's a little overwhelming to start something new and have all these new things that you need to learn and so many different calls. And it's just a lot to take on, especially when most people are doing this part-time aside from their full-time job. So I love that you kept it very simple, straightforward, and your training system that you shared. It's at their own pace. So for those who are a stay-at-home mom that maybe want to stay up and get that information in their head and do it all in one night or day or whatever, they can. But those coaches who may just want to, digest it one training at a time and maybe take it take, one day at a time with the trainings, they have that choice too. I love that. So I hope that you guys took notes on this, took screenshots. Jackie didn't you say you're going to share your notes?
Yeah, I can share them.
Okay, so she's going to post those in the Team Go-Getters accountability group, or I will if she sends them to me, whatever. We'll get you that information. But I hope that you took your own notes as well, and that you'll start creating a to-do list on how you can implement this in your own business. So that's kind of like your challenge for the next few days. Like, I would hope that you do it today, but if not, do it the next day or the next day. Sit down when it's quiet and you don't have people throwing you off and asking you questions. Just go somewhere, shut the door, sit down with your work, your laptop or computer or whatever, and just start processing this information based off of your notes, and then create a to-do list. So like, have your notebook here, but have a separate to-do list, and just start making a to-do list of things that you want to change in your own system. Or if you don't have a system yet, that's totally fine. You create your own system, and just start by making a list. Because what happens is when we get off a training call with this and there's a lot of information and we want to do it all, we have all these thoughts and visions and ideas in our head, but then we drop the ball because we just leave them in our head and then we forget about them and life happens and whatever. Get this stuff out on paper and create a to-do list, so then you don't have to feel overwhelmed. It's out of your head. It's on paper. You brain dumped it out of your head so you won't forget it. And then you can slowly but surely start working on these things one day at a time. Or you can be like Jackie was, like how she said she was, and she's like, I'm the type of person that needed that information, wanted to go through it and just get that crap done all in one day. You might be that type of person. You might make that to-do list and just pull an all-nighter and create your own little training series, or however you're going to do it. Whatever works for you, that's fine, but make the to-do list is the point. Okay, so that is your homework, to make that to-do list and start tackling it within the next week. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking time to get on this call and share so much stuff with us. We really, really appreciate you, and we'll let you go so you can hang out with the kids, but I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, see you guys next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, guys. And the link for this recording is the same link that got you to this call. Same link for the recording. So get that to your coaches, okay? Have a great week.
Bye, guys.